Hello again. Today we are going to be learning two different sounds that this grapheme makes. It can make an E sound and it can also make an E sound. So if you come to a word that has this grapheme and you don't know what the word says, I would try E first. If that makes sense, great. If that doesn't make sense, then try E. So we're going to play a game called compound word pairs, and that's what we're going to try and find. Two words that we can put together to make a big long compound word that makes sense. So I'm going to choose a green word to start with, and I'm going to choose a red word as well, and we're going to put those two together to see if they make a word that makes sense. So you're going to have a go at reading. Try E first for this grapheme. If it doesn't make sense, then try E. Off you go. You might need to try that again. If you think that makes a real word, give me a cheer. And if you think it doesn't make a real word, give me a boo. Let's see if you're right. Off we go. Eed, heed. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to need to try that again with the E sound. Ed, head. Teach, teach. Teacher. Head teacher. You might have a head teacher at your school, so that makes sense. We found one of the compound words. So let's put those away. I'm going to choose a green one, and I'm going to choose a red one. Let's put those together and see if they make sense. What sound are you going to try first for this one? E, and if that doesn't make sense, then you can try E. Off you go. You might need to try that one again. So if you think that makes a real word, give me a cheer. And if you think it doesn't make a real word, give me a boo. Let's see if you're right. Off we go. Breed, breed. Let's try that again. Bread, bread. Bread, that's the word. Bread. Belt. Bread belt. Does that make sense? No. So I'm going to put that word back where it came from. So remember that that one says bread. And belt, I'm going to put that one back where that came from. So that one says belt. So that one says bread and that one says belt. I'm going to choose this one next. And that one. Let's put them together and see if they make sense. What sound are we going to try for this one first? Going to try E. If that doesn't make sense, then we'll try E. Off you go. If you think that makes a real word, give me a cheer. And if you think that's not a real word, give me a boo. Let's see if you're right. Eat, seat. Bag, bag. Seat bag. That's not a word. But actually, I think I might be able to find a real word now. So I'm going to put that one back. I've got to remember that one says bag. But I think if I put this one with the one we had just now, that might make a word. Let's see if that makes a word. You have a go at reading it. You might need to do that one again. If you think that makes a word, give me a cheer. If it's not a word, give me a boo. Let's see if you're right. Eat, seat. That makes sense. Seat. Belt, belt. Seat belt. Yes, you wear a seatbelt in a car. So we found another compound word there. Let's choose another green one. And I have that green one. And I might try this one again. Try the E sound first, and if that doesn't make sense, then you're going to try eh. Off you go. Might need to try it again. If you think that's a real word, give me a cheer. If you think it's not a real word, give me a boo. Let's have a try. T-E-T. That makes sense. T-B-A-G, bag. Tea bag. You might use a tea bag to make a cup of tea. So that's a compound word. We'll get rid of that one. So we've only got 4 cards left. I'm going to move them a little bit closer. So let's try a green one and a red one. What sound are we going to try first for this one? E. And if that doesn't make sense, then we'll try eh. What sound's this? And this one? Oh, you have a go. You might need to try it again. Give me a cheer if you think that's a real word. Give me a boo if you think it's not. Let's right. Breed, breed. No, let's try that again. Bread, bread. That makes sense. Bread. Phones, phones. Bread phones. That doesn't make sense at all. So I'm going to turn that one over. So it must be this one, we think. Let's try reading it again. Might need to try that again. Give me a cheer if you think that's the word, and a boo if it's not. Let's see if you're right. Breed, breed. No. Bread, bread. Yes, that makes sense. Bread, bin, bin. Bread bin. That's a word. Some of you may have a bread bin at home. It's a little tin that you keep your bread in to stop it from going stale. You might not all have one of those. You might not have seen one before, but that's what a bread bin is. It keeps your bread nice and fresh. So that's a compound word. So these last 2 should make a word. Let's see what we've got. What sound are we going to try first? E, if that doesn't make sense. Eh. What sound's this? And this one? Oh, off you go. Might need to try that again. Give me a cheer if you think that's a real word, and a boo if you think it's not. Let's see if you're right. Eed, heed. No, let's try that again. Ed, head, head. That makes sense. Head. Phones, phones. Headphones. That's a word. Headphones you might wear over your head if you're listening to something and you don't want anyone else to be disturbed. So fantastic. We have found several compound words there. So a compound word is when we have a little word and a little word and we put them together to make a new long word. If you found any of those words a little bit tricky to read, then you might want to play the video another time and have another try. Enjoy!